I'm Randy Kohlenberg, the professor of trombone here at the University of North Carolina at Greensboro. This is Nicholas Lewis, who has a bachelor's degree in trombone performance from Coastal Carolina University and a Master of Music in Trombone Performance here at the University of North Carolina at Greensboro. He's now in the Doctor of Musical Arts program in trombone performance here at UNCG. He is an award winner and recipient of the Alumni Excellence Foundation Fellowship and is a Minerva Scholar. We are here in the 2 Recital Hall here at UNCG to record an approach to the required etude for the 11-12 North Carolina All-State Honors Band. First of all, we are going to look at parts of Guilmant's Morceau Symphonique and how to approach them. Then Nick will play the work in its entirety. I divided the work into sections for practice. I work on a specific section every day and then play through the entire work. For the Morceau Symphonique, I marked the following sections. Section 1, measure 3. Section 2, measure 18. Section 3, measure 28. Section 4, measure 37. Section 5, measure 49. Section 6, measure 61. We're going to start in section 1, measure 3. First of all, do not take the piano marking too seriously. Playing too quietly may keep the upper pitch from sounding. The B flat going to the G flat should have a continuous, uninterrupted airstream, and a legato tongue should be used. Note this very well, that the G flat needs to be played in a sharp third position. In the next measure, be sure to play the F in a slightly lowered position, and the G flat again is in a sharp third position. The A flat is in a regular third position, not raised. Do not forget the C flat in measure 5 must be tuned in 4th position. In measure 7, be careful that the dotted 8th rhythm 16th pattern is accurate and spaced. Again, be careful to play the G flat in sharp third position. I count that measure 1 to 2 to 3 and 4 and 1. Do not forget that measures 11 and 12 require a C flat. Be cautious about the counting of held notes in the following measures. I suggest not playing the A flat and B flat half notes too softly and hold the following E flat until beat 2 begins in measure 15. In section 5, measure 45, play with full volume in the first 2 measures, but do not play too quietly in measures 50 and following. I like to practice this excerpt in the following manner. Practice first the triplet figures by playing the first note of each pattern descending in quarter notes. E flat, D, flat C, C flat, B flat, and A. And at this point, I would suggest memorizing those notes. Nick has just played those notes from memory. Then the triplet pattern requires a half step below each of the pitches and a return to the note played first. Practice this pattern until it is memorized. And now Nick is going to play it from memory. Then the triplet pattern requires a half step below each of the pitches and a return to the note played first. This pattern is played many times during your practice until it is memorized. Next, the triplet pattern in measure 55, beginning on E flat, is an E flat triad. Isolate this pattern and memorize it. And then the following scale pattern is an E flat scale that will end on B flat. Again, memorize this pattern. And then go back and put the whole section together. Section 6 in measure 61 is similar to the section 5. Be cautious to play the G flat in the sharp third position to tune it. Practice the triplet figures by playing the first note of each pattern descending in quarter notes. G flat, F, F flat, E flat, D, D flat, and C flat. And memorize that pattern. Then the triplet pattern requires a half step below each of the pitches and a return to the note played first. Practice this pattern until it is memorized. In measures 67 and 68, the note G is in sharp second. The A flat is in a regular third. Keep the quarter notes long. The trill at the end can be played using the F attachment. Begin slowly, gradually increase the speed, and end the trill with the grace note beginning on the end of 3. Be sure to sustain the notes accurately and count the rests exactly. Also, the trill can be played from the E flat in third position to the F in a lowered fourth position if desired. Now go back and put those sections together. In section 4, measure 37 begins with an E flat scale. Be sure that the scale has a continuous stream of air that is well articulated by the tongue. Be cautious and count carefully through the syncopation measure in 38. Also, be careful to tune the chromatic movement beginning in measure 41. Section 2, measure 18. This section indicates con anima, meaning with animation. This does not mean to rush, but rather to move accurately and assertively through the passage. Begin the G flat in sharp third position and hold the half note tied to the eighth note until beat 3. In the next measure, the marking, marcato, means marked. I like to think of each note as having a definite beginning and ending, like blocks of notes without a hard beginning or decay on the end. In measure 24, count the syncopated figure carefully and accurately. Then, in measure 22, use a continuous stream of air and articulate the 16th notes without rushing to the upper B flat. In measure 25, play the dotted 8th 16th pattern accurately and end in measure 26 on the G flat in sharp third position. In section 3, measure 28, be sure that the A flat begins with an upbeat feel, and from the A flat, the upper G flat is in sharp third position. Tranquillo means without hurry, without a harsh rhythmic feel. The word dolce means sweetly and can be translated to a steady stream of air, not accented notes, and legato tongue. Hold the note with the fermata at the end of the phrase longer than usual and wait before beginning the next section. My approach to playing and working on this etude is to play absolutely every day, starting with a warm-up. And then I practice a particular section, as I stated earlier, focusing on memorizing difficult passages. Then I play through the entire piece. And now Nick is going to play through Morceau Symphonique.